this last couple of weeks, I haven't had a shift. It's been like shifting gears. I keep having these moments that are just stopping me, freezing me, and making me reflect on so many things. And I want to talk to you about an experience that I had last week. When Phoebe died, after the initial release of emotions, it's like I went into some kind of shock or denial, and I had to spend time with her. And it was a bit weird, but I actually just had her here for 2 days. The first day, I was just walking around like I was holding my baby. And the second day, I had her sitting on my bed as I just carried on and prepared things, and it got to a bit Norman Batesy, and I was like, okay, I have to let her go. And I did it. I went through the process. I didn't fall apart. But I felt something inside of me. It was like I was shutting down. Like I just had nothing. And I knew that in that moment, it was a make or break, because I've just been so tired, so sick. And it was actually while I was digging her hole and I looked around, and because I'm out in the bush, there's just nothingness. Yeah, you look on for kilometers and it's just trees, and you can see farms up in the distance a few kilometers away. And it occurred to me, like, yes, I have support. Yes, I've been meeting people in community, but I'm alone. It occurred to me how alone I am. I have a grandma who has no idea. And she can't. And it was in that moment I was like, this is it. You have to really step up now. And I looked around, and all I could see was everything from the storm. You know, the roof from my shower that was hanging down over there, and all the bits of tin from the rabbit enclosure, and the shed, and the kitchen, and the gazebo was just And every time I walked outside to the rabbit enclosure, and even now it still happens, I see Phoebe hanging upside down, just wedged there, with Lloyd shaking next to her. And I was like, I need to do something healthy because I am on the edge. So I booked myself an Airbnb. And I was like, okay, that area is somewhere I need to be tomorrow because I've got all these things to do. I'm going to take my laundry, I'm going to take my battery, my water jerrys. And out of the places that were dog friendly, there were only 3 available. One yard wasn't fenced, one just looked really old and shit. So I was like, this one's perfect. It's in the area I need to be in tomorrow. It's got a bath, it's got a fenced yard for Sadie. I was about 2/3 of the way there, and I was getting tailgated by someone, and because I wasn't okay. When I'm not okay, I just pull over and let them go. But because I wasn't okay and I was tired and I haven't been sleeping, and it's a manual, my foot slipped as I went to pull over, and because it's been raining and it's muddy, the car slipped. And the next thing, I was in a ditch. Sideways, the sky looking up that, like, hello. So I didn't crash, and it wasn't huge, but I was wedged sideways in a ditch. And I knew if the cops came, I would get triggered and all my fucking stuff would kick in and it would escalate into something huge. Locals helped me. It was over pretty soon, so that cost me. I get to the Airbnb. First thing I see is a sign that says, water restrictions, don't have too much, water. And I'm like, I need heaps of baths, bastards. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll leave the water in, I'll just keep topping it up with the kettle. They had a plug that kept draining out. So I actually just couldn't have the baths. Like, I had one bath, but the hot water ran out as it covered my knee, so I didn't even get a full. And they had, in this giant fucking loft of a place with high ceilings in the Tasmanian winter out in the fucking bush, this one little tiny heater in the bathroom that didn't heat up the bathroom well. And then this other one for the whole cabin. So my $200 and something was freezing, and I was laying there. I had to spend the whole time under the covers. They didn't put in the description or the profile of the ad that it was actually attached to another accommodation. So on the other side of the wall was a whole bunch of people, and I could hear everything. And hearing them made Sadie bark and grumble and growl all fucking night. And the fenced yard was fenced, but they had the gate wedged open and you couldn't shut it. And there was a road right there. And because there were people everywhere outside and attached, and Sadie loves everyone, I couldn't let her out. So actually, I was trapped inside, unable to have a bath, freezing, hearing everything with my sensory going off, with my dog going nuts at everything. Just hiding under the covers, trying to stay warm, and then, bang! My battery charger blew up. So I didn't get to charge the battery, and I had no other battery charger. So the morning, I went to the nearest mechanic to just get a battery charger because I was too fucked. I did an all-nighter. There was nowhere, I had some meds with me, but because I've been rationing, I didn't have enough to really get me through it. And because there are people everywhere and it's, you want to be respectful, I couldn't actually just go out and medicate, and it's freezing. So the charger I got was good because it means I can actually charge the lithium battery with it as well. But it was $200. So it cost like $700 and something by the time I ended leaving there with getting the car out of the ditch, the accommodation itself, and the battery charger blowing up to actually get sicker. So then I booked into another Airbnb that was really cheap with a local near where I'm camping who let me do cash at a cheaper rate. And There was no bath, but I had lots of showers. But Sadie couldn't stay there. And because I was throwing up and I was seizing and I was all over the place, I didn't even get to let her know what was going on. She just got dumped somewhere. So her anxiety and her, and the boys were just left right after that happened, and they just needed me to nurture them from Phoebe. Rabbits really bond. And when they lose their bonding mate, they get depressed. And Phoebe was the matriarch. She was their safety from all of my shit show. Suddenly, she was gone, I was gone. And I knew what I was coming back to, and I was driving. And I had done a tarot read the night before in the Airbnb before I was leaving, and I was watching something on YouTube, and after I finished watching it, something was on my feed that was really random that got my attention, and I went in, and it was this woman speaking, like this European woman, and I was like, what the fuck? And it's like, it was just full of all this profound stuff that was really in line with my tarot reading. And basically, in line with the tarot and everything that was happening, I knew, because I am spiritual, and I know a lot of you won't believe this and you'll think it's garbage. I knew, because I was told, that seeing arches were going to be the sign of my next chapter, and everything that was coming, that it said was in the tarot and in all these messages and visuals and things that have been going on in my spiritual chapter that I'm going through. And literally when I went outside in the bin, I guess the family next door had Macca's or something. There were all these Macca's wrappers. And then I was driving along, and there was a fucking rainbow. There was a rainbow, and it was just arched all over, which was in my reading the night before. The Ten of Cups arched all over, saying you're going to see these rainbows, and the Ace of Pentacles, the arches, the arches, the arches. And I was driving along, going, oh my God, this is my time, as I was taking in the rainbow and this belly breath. And then all of a sudden, a few cars ahead of me, it was a silver car. It suddenly swerved and just like pulled over out like an emergency, like something had happened. Like, what the fuck? And it happened so quickly. And I looked up in the rearview mirror and I saw this woman, and my nervous system clocked it instantly that it was a tourist, because I instantly went, Chinese woman, rental car, school holidays, tourist. No one was stopping, and it was quite busy, so I just stopped. But I was a couple of 100 meters ahead already, so I was in the side lane, and I actually had to reverse up to where she was. I keep and I had to reverse to where she was. And oh fuck, it's my hair. I keep feeling, okay, hang on a sec. That was driving me insane. My hair kept brushing on my chin. So I reversed up, and I could see it was a mum with 2 kids. A boy and a girl. They looked maybe between like 10 and 12. And the mum was tripping, and I could see in her eyes like she didn't know what to do. The little girl who had been in the front seat was projectile vomiting, and I could see she was, It was a rental car, and I'm not even joking. This front seat was just covered in spew, and the mum was tripping, and she had nothing. It was like they'd literally just come from the fucking airport, brand new in the rental car with nothing ready for it. And I was just like, oh my God. This woman was in luck. I'd just come from an Airbnb, so I had full canned water jerrys. I had all these cups that I had taken with me, all these juices and electrolytes. I had fresh towels, fresh blankets, fresh jumpers, because she was covered in spew. I had paper towels. I had just picked up my click and collect, so I had paper towels and cleaning products and bin bags. I had everything she needed. And what it did for me, I went into like mum mode myself. Like, I got the little boy was like, he didn't know what to do. So I was like, take this. And I got him and I made him like hold the bag. I got the mum everything she needed to help the girl with the water and the, here, take this off, get her a clean jumper. In hindsight, that was one of my best jumpers. Never mind. She was taking care of the kid, and I just started cleaning the rental car. And the little boy was helping me like hold the bag for the rubbish. And they looked grateful but scared. And I said, where are you from, Victoria? And they went, yeah, Melbourne. And I said, I can tell. I said, in Melbourne, no one would stop for you like this, right? And they went, no. I said, in Melbourne, they would stop and chase you with a machete. I said, you are safe here. This is safe. Tasmania is safe. If someone stops to help you, they are going to help you. And I gave them this blanket that was actually for Sadie, a dog blanket, because it was one of, those special materials that are double-sided that are waterproof? I was like, take this in case she spews again, and just like loaded them up. And I can tell you right now that as soon as I got in the car, I didn't want to leave. Like, I was like, I wanted to just fix them. I wanted to take the fucking car, get the smell out. She's like, relax, lady. Like, I don't know you, but like, it felt amazing, and it kicked something in. Not old me, because old me was a self-sacrificer, people pleaser, who would have gone over the top, done too much. I would have been not sleeping that night until I knew they were okay. But it's about finding that right balance and learning that it's not all or nothing, right? Because I've always gone all in, no matter what it is. If it's my friend, if it's my family, if it's my job, if it's my partner, and you go all in and give everything you have, is how you keep ending up losing everything and ending up with nothing. And that's when you go nut and you don't want to give anything. And it's always the case in this cycle. And it helped me realize it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to stop being who you are at the core. It's about finding who you truly are at the core, and that balance of, I am a good person. I don't have to stop caring. I just need to stop worrying. And that's the difference. People think I need to stop caring so that I don't hurt. But that takes the goodness out of you, and no one should have enough power over you to take the goodness out of your heart. It's about the worry, not the care. Stop worrying, but never stop caring.